Hello everyone, it's Colby. I am joined with my buddy Philip.
Hi.
That's Philip. And today we're going to be going over all of the fighter subclasses. We have already ranked Artificer, Clerk, and Blood Hunter, which is going to be shown here. Boom.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Blood Hunter.
Blood Hunter, yes. Those videos are already out on our channel, so check them out. If you want to see those, we are going to be ranking all of the subclasses in D&D, every class. So stay tuned for future videos on the classes we haven't done yet. And this video is our opinion. So I would say don't get mad, but honestly, if you leave a mad comment, yeah,
it's the correct opinion.
It is the correct one, yes. But if you do get mad, leave a comment. It increases engagement. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the correct opinion.
So we're gonna start with Arcane Archer. Oh, I guess one other thing before the video starts. This is just based off how the subclasses rate against each other within the fighter class. So we're not considering how much we love fighter. We're not comparing Arcane Archer to Death Domain Clerk. Just how it compares to other subclasses and how, honestly, how much we want to play. This is very subjective, so.
Yeah, it's if you told me to play this class, what I want to play. The only reason it's on a Omega scale like this with everything is just because why not?
Yep. Absolutely. Because this tier maker is going to be huge by the end of it.
Huge. It's going to be like the size that it is now, plus the size of all the things beneath it. That's how big it'll be.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff.
I'm good at visualizing.
Well, you don't have to visualize. We're making videos for it. It'll all be right here. Anyways, if you want to make this tier, also the link is in the description. Let's start with Arcane Archer.
I had it at B.
B? I'd probably put it at B as well. Like, I don't think I'd play it. I feel like this subclass has to exist for the fighter, and I like how it works. Probably just wouldn't play it.
It's like Battlemaster, but specifically a bow. Mm-hmm. And the shots are cool. I do wish it would work with a crossbow.
It doesn't work with a crossbow? Why?
No, specifically bow. Because the lore behind it is that it was elven magic that over the centuries other people have adopted. So that's why it's specifically a bow. But I don't know. I wish it would work with a crossbow. That's a super easy thing to homebrew. You just talk to your DM and be like, hey, can I be an Arcane Archer but use a bow? I really doubt anyone would say no to you because it's really not that much different. Mm-hmm. You know, like longbow is just as good as any crossbow.
Yeah.
I've always thought that it's kind of dumb that they put that restriction in. I get why, because it's a lore reason. It just,
Yeah, I don't really care about those lore reasons, so.
This is just an all-around mid subclass. Like, it would be fun to play. It's not one that would be a go-to.
Yeah.
I think that it would be a fun as a multi-class for me, personally.
Oh yeah, with like a ranger. This would be very good.
Or like a rogue or something, you know.
Mm-hmm. And like
it could be cool. Because like you could set it up as like you're an assassin rogue, but you don't kill people with a knife. You use a bow at long range. Because then even if you shoot and you miss, then you can use which one is it? Seeking arrow. So even if you miss, you could still hit them. You know, like or banishing arrow, you hit someone and they just disappear. Because you banish them to the Feywild. Like, that's just cool to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the arcane shot is great. I think one thing that makes it really good is it doesn't take like an extra action at all to use these arrows. It's just you choose which one you want to do if you want to use one, and it just happens. And I feel like if it required an action, this would probably be like a D, or if it took away one of your attacks, somehow, or was like had more of a consequence, it wouldn't really be much fun. It would be too kind of parasitic towards like the action economy of your character.
Yeah.
But it
Now,
strikes a good balance there.
you only get 2
Mhm.
per short rest. But it's per short rest, so it's usually like 2 per fight. Not
Yeah.
awful, because you get it back at short rest, and as a fighter, you also get action surge back on short rest.
Yeah, and it does scale, so as you level, you get more.
Yeah, like this class, if you don't like Arcane Shot, don't pick this class, because that's all it has.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some
You
cool...
get Arcane Shot, it's what you get at 7, 10, 15, 18. You also get Magic Arrow and Curving Shot at 7, but it's just enhancing it, you know, like it. If you don't like Arcane Shot, don't pick it. And I mean, there's a lot of these to go through, and Battlemaster has a lot of things to go through. I don't think we should go through all.
No, we're not gonna. If you want to read them all, you can. There's a lot of variety there. It's a good amount of variety, good amount of damage. I don't like that it doesn't scale till 18th level though. That seems like there should be one in between.
What do you mean?
The damage doesn't scale until 18th level from these. Like it says the force damage increases to 46 when you reach 18th level, psychic damage 46. Like there's no in between. Like you don't get any scaling of these until you reach 18th level.
Yeah, but you do get more options, and as a fighter, you're still getting all the fighter abilities. Like, sure, the damage doesn't scale, but as a fighter, you still shoot a lot.
That's true. Yeah.
And Magic Arrow is where the scaling comes in at 7th level, because it's every arrow.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So at 7th level, you have Magic Arrow, so all your arrows are magical and overcome resistances and immunities to non-magical attacks.
Yeah.
And 7th level, also with Curving Shot, when you shoot and you miss, you can use a bonus action and it'll curve around and hit someone else within 60 feet.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like it makes it so that you don't really miss ever, because I mean, you're gonna build your character around shooting a bow until you have good dex. So you have like a +9, and then you shoot. At this point, you get 2 shots. So with the bonus action, you essentially get 3 if one of them misses. Plus, you have action surge. You know, like it doesn't scale because it can't scale. Because if it scales, then you're very overpowered.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And at 15th level, super nice. If you roll initiative and have no use of Arcane Shot, you get 1. That's nice. Yeah,
so like you get both back on a short rest, or if you go into a fight, you get 1. You know, like that's it's just useful.
Now that I think about it, the scaling's actually something I'd like to see in more subclasses. It's almost like they thought about actually balancing this thing at higher levels, because they're like, okay, we're gonna give you this at 15th level. When you're 18th, you're basically gonna be a god, so let's give you some more. Where a lot of the other subclasses, they just stop at like the trait at the top, and then they're just like, okay, you can have that. And sometimes they're underwhelming or doesn't scale like your damage appropriately for the martial classes. So
yeah, like as a fighter, from level 11 to level 19, you have 3 attacks.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And you can also action surge, so you can have 6 attacks one of those turns. And if one of them misses, you can Curving Shot it.
Yeah.
And then at 20th level, you get a 4th attack. You know, like it just, you don't really need the scaling in the dice on this until those super high levels, just because you're fighting like god tier enemies.
Yep.
And Magic Arrow takes care of it for most of the time. No, it's just a solid mid.
The Arcane Archer, putting it as a B. This is a solid class. I think really well made. Probably wouldn't play it. Definitely multi-class into it. I'd have a good time playing it though. Yeah, the next one, Battle Master. I'm pretty
I have it
sure.
at S.
Yeah, like I was gonna put it at an S tier, and I think everyone knows this subclass is amazing for the fighter.
It's the fighter.
Yeah.
It works good as melee. It works good sword and shield. It works good using a pole arm. It works good using a bow or a crossbow, two-hand crossbow. You know, it works with anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good because the maneuvers, which we're not going to go through because that's a waste of everyone's time.
So
the
many.
maneuvers aren't specific to melee or ranged, just weapon attacks.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple that are specific, like sweeping attack is a melee weapon, but obviously it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sweeping attack. How would you do that with an arrow?
Yeah,
you know, like
absolutely. So, Battle Masters, the maneuvers have a lot of diversity in them too. Like this feature of Battle Master is so good that they also have like a feat around it. And just like giving these maneuvers to like any other martial is just so much better. Like,
yeah, well, and the entire subclass is just this. Like at 7th level, you get Know Your Enemy, which if you spend a minute interacting with another creature outside of combat, you can learn about its capabilities.
Yeah,
and you learn Strength score, Dex score, Con score, AC, current hit points, total class level, and fighter class level, if any. You get to know 2 of those. That's not really that useful, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like, you can use it. It takes a minute to do. So it would really just be like you're hiding in the bushes watching your enemy.
Yeah. I would say there's like a decent, like, unless the enemy immediately attacks you, like if you have a conversation with them, it's probably going to last a minute. A minute is not very long in real life. In D&D, it's like 10 rounds, which is like 2 hours in real life. But
personally, I would always ask about armor class.
Yep.
Or sorry, hit points and dex score. Always.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Because hit points is really useful to know if they're actually a threat. Because more hit points equals scarier with monsters in this game. And dex score is useful to know because if they have a high dex, tell your spellcasters. If they have a low dex, tell your spellcasters.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Most damage spells are dex, you know?
Yeah.
All the other subclass abilities are just at 10th level, your superiority dice are d10s instead of d8s. Yep. At 15th level, you get superiority dice if you roll initiative, you don't have any. And at 18th level, you're d12s instead of d10s.
Yeah, nice bit of scaling.
Which is really good, because not only do you use it, it adds to the damage.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so strong and it's so good. It's not like so strong that it's crazy because it's like a dice.
And like the thing about the Battle Master is the only thing we've actually complained about is Know Your Enemy, and I'd say that's just like average good. Everything else is great. Like
it's not bad. It's just like you gotta remember to do it. You have to have a party that's not horny to just run in ahead of you and like prevent you from doing it, because you have to do it. You have to set it up. You need a party that will allow you to do it, because some parties will just like go gung-ho. Also, if you're in a campaign with it, every encounter is a surprise, because some are like that. Some DMs are like that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's not gonna help you because you can't watch your enemy if they're always surprising you. If it's always random encounters that just happen and you didn't see it coming, then the ability's useless. But even with this ability not helping you, it's still an S tier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because maneuvers are so good, and they're all good. Honestly, all of them are useful.
Yeah.
Some are obviously better than others, but all of them are useful.
Yeah, so Battle Master, obvious S. Let's go probably to the other side of the list with the Cavalier.
Yeah, obviously D.
Yeah, this one is
so
like
bad.
like
it's so bad.
I know what they were going for. They wanted a mounted class, but it's like,
I
why?
I love the idea of having a knight on horseback, but the
Yeah.
abilities they give you are so bad. You get proficiency in one of the following: animal handling, history, insight, performance, persuasion, or a language.
I would
Cool.
hope you'd have animal handling because you're supposed to be on a horse the whole time or something.
You should get animal handling and history, insight, performance, or persuasion.
Yeah.
You also have advantage on saving throws made to avoid falling off your mount. You fall off your mount and descend no more than 10 feet. You can land on your feet.
Wow.
That's it. Mounting, dismounting only costs you 5 feet of movement rather than half your speed.
Wow.
Oh, too bad horses have like 16 hit points.
Yeah, exactly. Unwavering mark. You can menace your foes, foiling their attacks and punishing them for harming others. You can mark them when you hit them. While it is in 5 feet of you, a creature marked by you has disadvantage on any attack roll that doesn't target you. I guess that's nice until it kills your horse and you're on the ground.
Yeah.
I guess it has disadvantage if it attacks your horse, but like we said, the horse's armor class is probably like 12 natural armor, and it has like no hit points.
You know what I think would make this class significantly better?
Give them a mount they can resummon and scales.
Well, and like not even bring it up that high. It would bring it up to like C or maybe B. At 3rd level, give them Find Steed spell.
Yeah, that's good.
And then at 10th level, Find Greater Steed. Because there's nothing in this about your mount dying. It's just that you're better on a mount. Horses aren't that expensive in D&D, but I mean, like, what a garbage subclass.
And like the idea of it is great on paper, but like unless you're playing a campaign,
not good on paper. It's good in thought.
It's good in thought. Yeah.
The name is cool, and saying it's a mounted combatant. As soon as you start reading it, it's not good.
And as soon as you start playing it, and you have to go in a dungeon, you have to go in a church in any building. You're not gonna trot in with your horse. The
game is called Dungeons and Dragons. A dungeon, not good for a horse. A dragon, also not good for a horse. And I mean, there's other mounts in the game, but I mean, early game, what are you gonna get?
Yeah.
And late game, even with animal handling, like, it depends on your DM. Like, if your DM feels bad for you because your subclass is trash and not useful, so you're just a fighter, you basically don't have a subclass, maybe he'll give you a dinosaur.
Yeah,
but, like,
absolutely.
even then, it can still die.
I know.
Like, it doesn't even give you anything to heal it.
I know. Do we even need to go through this? I feel like we're just gonna beat this one into the ground.
We're done with this one. It's a D. Like, there's only one other subclass that's as bad as this one in Fighter.
So, yeah, if you want to read about it, it's there. Our opinion is definitely a D for Cavalier. Let's move on to Champion, which
Champion is a C for me.
Yes, me too.
As a multi-class with Barbarian specifically, it's an S.
Okay.
Specifically because of improved critical.
Yeah, I can't imagine that bringing it up very much from C, though. That's like one class it's good at multi-classing with.
It's only good at multi-classing with Barbarian. And only because improved critical combined with brutal critical is so strong.
Yeah.
Making it a 10% chance to critical hit and getting extra dice on top of that critical hit. And then, like, taking Great Weapon Master, because you have Fighter, so you get a fighting style. So you can have Great Weapon Fighting, so you reroll 1s and 2s. Like, you could basically max your damage on a critical, and it's a 10% chance of rolling a critical. And you can, Reckless Attack, so you get 2 chances.
Yeah, but anything past, like, I'd say 3rd level is just
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
underwhelming.
On its own, it's a D or a C. Like, it's better than Cavalier. It's better than Purple Dragon Knight. So I have it in C personally because it's better than those two for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just a champion. Like, it's a gladiator. It's someone that's just good at fighting, good at taking advantage of the situation, good at hitting crits. You get an additional fighting style. Like, it's just taking the fighter class and turning it up a little bit. It's not adding anything to it, it's just turning it up. And the fighter class is very good.
Yes, it is. And like
that's why personally I had it in C.
Yeah, the champion doesn't take anything away from the fighter class. It does add things. It's just a little bit, yeah. It's just kind of C. That's what it is.
Yeah, so, like, it's better than Cavalier in every way.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's not better than anything above it.
That's a low bar for Cavalier.
Yeah, but if you put it on the same level as Cavalier, then that's doing a disservice to champion.
Oh yeah, it is, because it's not that bad.
No, and everything above it is definitely above it.
Mm-hmm.
So C is just a good spot for it. Like, it's just fighter a little bit extra.
Yeah. So, Echo Knight.
First critical role subclass.
Oh really? I did not know that. They did a good job.
One on this list because it's alphabetical.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like the first one ever.
Subclass was Gunslinger.
Okay.
Then Blood Hunter, then Echo Knight.
That makes sense. So, as an Echo Knight, you essentially are able to like manifest an echo of yourself that has quite a bit of versatility to it. I like the variety it gives you.
I absolutely love this subclass.
Yeah, like this is one of the. It's on my list of like classes I'd want to play next. A little bit lower than some.
For me,
yeah.
Yeah, it's S for me. It's so cool. Like, it's strong without being overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
The abilities are all cool. I love that you just have a shadow that you can swap spots. That is super useful. Also, you can take opportunity attacks from it. Later on, you can make an extra one.
Yeah.
You can also, like at 10th level, you can throw it in front of an attack directed at someone else. And it has a high AC. It's an AC of 14 plus your proficiency, which isn't awful. It's not great. Like, it's on par with the Steel Defender from Artificer, but like, you're immune to all conditions, so spells that don't do damage don't work on it.
Yep.
It also can't be grappled.
Yeah, so this is a great example.
An enemy that's all about grappling, and it can only attack if it grapples you. Send your Echo. It's invincible.
Yeah, this is a great example of a subclass that doesn't take any away from the class. It gives you so many options, but it's not overpowered. It just gives you options and things to do, and it enhances like the idea of a fighter. It's like you can't just hit. You hit and then your Echo hits at 3rd level, or you hit and you can switch spaces with your Echo, like essentially giving you a disengage. Like, it's not really that overpowered because other subclasses give you good stuff too. But yeah, I think absolutely an S.
Yeah, it's just all around good. Like, you also get an extra attack with it, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Just all around good. Like, Matt and Taliesin did a great job with it.
So, I'm gonna put that one in the S, up there with Battlemaster. Let's move on to the Eldritch Knight, which is probably one I should love, but every time I make it, I'm just not excited about it. I don't know why. I love half-casters, but it just doesn't...
I don't know why you don't like this one, because it's a wizard half-caster.
I know.
But you still get all your fighter abilities.
I know. It just doesn't seem that exciting to me. I don't know what it is about it.
Well, you also haven't ever played a wizard. So you don't... And, like, you've played Artificer, so you have seen a little bit of the wizard spell list, but That's it.
Yeah, but I think
Wizard spell list is pretty solid.
I've also I have, maybe it's because it's tied to the wizard spell list. I look at the wizards, and I'm just not interested that much in them either. Like, I'm choosing spells, and it's just, I don't know. But I can definitely see the appeal in it. I think it's a very well-made class.
I have it in A.
Okay, I would probably put it in B, but I'm fine with it being in A.
Like, I have it in A because I think that getting wizard spells is the best spell list to get from, because it's just the biggest, most widest. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. Weapon bond, super useful. Because I mean, if you ever get captured, that sucks. You got your weapons anyway.
Yep, that's nice.
You can use your action to cast a cantrip and make a weapon attack as a bonus action at 7th level. Super strong.
Yes.
Because cantrips scale with your character level, not your class level. And most of the time, you can't do that. Arcane Charge, ability to teleport 30 feet. When you use Action Surge. I mean, useful. At 15th level, pretty meh. And at 18th level, use your action, cast a spell, make one weapon attack as a bonus action. So it's like how you had it with cantrip, but it's with spells. But it's at 18th level.
Yeah.
Still useful because it means that you can cast Fireball and hit someone next to you. You know, it still is useful. It's not great, but it's 18th level, so I don't really care because I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah, I think I figured out why I don't like the Eldritch Knight as much as other half-casters. Is that, like, it's a half-caster, but it's kind of like a third caster. Like, it only goes to 4th level, and you only get one spell slot in 4th level at 19th and 20th. I think that's kind of turns it away.
Like, you don't really even get the 5th level spells with half-casters.
Well, it also, like, throttles your spell
play
slots
that highly,
but
like, really.
It also throttles your spell slots for lower levels. You just get less spell slots overall with this.
Yeah, but you still have all the fighter abilities, which the base fighter abilities are a lot stronger than the base artificer abilities or the base paladin ability.
Yeah, I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying this is why I don't like it.
Yeah, like it's very much built to be that you use your spell slots for battlefield control, which Wizard is very good at. Which personally I don't always like, but it can be really useful because there's just so many options with battlefield control with Wizard spells. And also I just like the idea of a smarter fighter, and you need good intelligence to be an Eldritch.
So not Gunslinger. Eldritch Knight, I think we'll put it out at an A and move on to the second critical role subclass we're going to do, Gunslinger, Mr. Percival.
It's Arcane Archer, but with a gun instead of a bow. They're basically the same.
I don't
honestly
know.
I don't even really need to. I don't have much to talk about it. It's got special shots like the Arcane Archer does, but it's a gun.
Guns are cool.
It's all built around that. Like it's cool. I want to play one. Every campaign I'm playing in right now, they don't want guns, so they've told me no, which is fine. That's something that I'll ask, hoping. But when they say no, it's like, okay, you know, like adding guns to a world is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like as a DM, I would let a player do that as like that character invented it.
Yeah, that's a good way to get around it.
It's not gunpowder. It's
magic.
It's like their innate magic. It's like someone that could have been a wizard in another life, but instead they did this, and instead of using spells, they use a gun. You know, that's how I would get around it, so that there isn't gunpowder in the world, because that has huge repercussions. Because then you're gonna have people asking to make bombs. You just are.
I know.
A rogue is gonna make a bomb if you give them gunpowder. That's That's just a fact of life. But you can get around it really easily. Like, let's be honest, you can have it be magic and still use all the firearms and like the Exandria weapons and the reload and the misfire. You can still have all that. Just have the mechanism break. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, would you put it the same level as Arcane Archer, or do you think it's better?
Yeah, I put it right beside.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. I haven't played it yet. There's some aspects to it that's a little bit more complicated, just dealing with the gun. I don't know how it would actually like play in a game, but I love the idea of it. And like you said, it's like a gun, Arcane Archer, Arcane Gunner.
Yeah, like if a player asked me as a DM to play this, and they're a new player,
no,
I would tell them like it's very complex.
Yeah.
And I can't be holding your hand.
Yeah, exactly. So
like I want to play it, but I'm fine with a complex class.
So Gunslinger, we'll put it with Arcane Archer at the B rank. Let's move on to Psi Warrior.
I also had this at B rank. I think it's cool. I do like it. I think it's good, but like I don't really want to play it more than Eldritch Knight. I don't want to play it more than Echo Knight or the Battle Master.
That's true. I'd probably put it like a low B, to be honest.
Like I think it's cool. The abilities are sweet. I always like the psionic kind of thing in D&D. Like whenever I play bards, I do that kind of thing, like invade their minds and control them more than like be sexy. But like I don't know. It's better than everything below it.
Yeah.
But it's worse than everything above it, so that's why I have it at B. You know, like.
Yeah, it's probably the most like meh fighter class for me. It's
very just like. I think I'd have a lot of fun playing it, but I'd rather play Echo Knight.
Yeah, you know? There's just other subclasses that do it better. So.
Yeah, well, and like I'd rather play Gunslinger or Arcane Archer, but it's definitely better than Champion.
Oh, absolutely. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Purple Dragon Knight, you said this was a D, eh?
Absolutely. Have you read it? It's garbage.
I read it briefly. It seems to empower the other fighter class features, which I do like, but the effects are just...
It's like what Champion was doing with, like, trying to turn up the other features, but it didn't do it as good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it just failed in terms of balancing and, like, things it adds to those features. I like the idea.
Rally and Cry. When you use Second Wind, you can choose up to 3 people in 60 feet. Each one regains hit points equal to your fighter level. Ooh.
Wow.
You know how garbage that is?
That's so little. Yeah.
You get that at 3rd level, so that's 3 hit points.
Yeah, 7th level one, you get expertise.
20, yeah. And it's once per short rest.
7th level, you get proficiency. Well, you basically get expertise in the persuasion.
At 7th.
Why is that a 7th level thing?
Yeah, because Purple Dragon Knight, you're an envoy to the crown.
Wow.
You're like, you're a knight of the realm. And like, purple is a royal color.
Yeah?
Purple Dragon Knights are supposed to inspire greatness in others by committing brave deeds in battle.
Yeah, sounds
it
like
just doesn't play well.
Sounds like there should be a better feature of her like inspiring your teammates than just persuasion.
I mean, at 10th level, you get Inspiring Surge. Who needs Action Surge? Choose one person, and they can make 1 melee ranged attack with their reaction.
Yeah. With the, okay, I forgot.
At 18th level, you could choose 2.
I didn't read that it was their reaction. That sucks. Why make them use the reaction?
Yeah, it burns something. So like, it's not even that good. Like, it could be useful. It could make a fight end very quickly. But like at 10th level, and then it upgrades at 18th level. Like,
yeah, like this subclass is not parasitic towards the class. It's just like adding like a little feather on top of like it's the stuff. It's like, oh, sure, like it.
Just, like it's just bad. Like Like, you know how champion is very underwhelming because it's just like, hey, the fighter abilities just crank them up a bit. This is like that, except that it's not fighting abilities. It's the other abilities.
Yeah.
And when you're a fighter, you're not the one that's doing that stuff. Like, you could do that stuff, but I mean, if you have a bard or a rogue in your party, or sorcerer, or a paladin, they all have charisma. You really need proficiency in persuasion at 7th level.
Yeah, that's not worth the 7th level thing. So, Purple Dragon Knight, I'm gonna put that down with the Cavalier. I'd say it's like, better than the Cavalier, but that's
I agree that it's better than the Cavalier, but only because the Cavalier doesn't get an invincible horse.
Yeah.
If the Cavalier got an invincible horse, it would be better than this.
So the next one, the Rune Knight, is kind of like the Gunslinger and Arcane Archer again. You have these like additional things you can choose from and use that have a lot of variety and are good.
There's a lot less.
It's less. It's definitely scaled down, and I'm not sure if it's like.
Also, Rune Knight, I have it A.
I put it at A, yeah.
Because it has the runes, which are cool and great. Oh man, Cloud Rune. I love Cloud Rune. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Just choose that when someone goes to hit you, and you just make it hit someone else within 30 feet of you, so you can make them hit their friend. And it's not a check; it just happens.
Yeah, that's powerful.
That's
not being a check.
That's so useful. The reason that I have it in A and not B is because of the other things that you get. You get Giant's Might, which is just cool. Like,
yep, just become bigger.
You literally become large. You Hulk out, which is just really cool. And that gets even bigger later.
Yes, absolutely. So, and you get an extra little bit of damage too with an extra D6.
You can also have Runic Shield, which is you can use it up to your proficiency, which is good. Like, it's a long rest, which I like, and you basically get luck dice for hits against allies. So if someone goes to hit your ally, you can be like, nah, reroll that, EM.
Which is always satisfying for players to have.
Useful. That's proficiency, so it does go up throughout the game. It doesn't go up a lot. Maxes out at 6. But like, doing that 5 times a day for the mid to late game, not bad. Do it 4 times, not bad. You know, not great, but it could make the difference. Someone's about to die, you can make them reroll. Giant stature, pretty cool. Roll 3d4 and you grow that much.
Yep.
And your Giant's Might does extra damage.
A nice little bit of rolling there too. This
subclass is the best fighter tank build because you literally get bigger. You're a bigger target. You command the battlefield because you're bigger. You're like, if you take this with a weapon that has reach, you suddenly control such a massive amount of the battlefield.
Yep.
Because if you were to also take, say, the feat that gives you a couple Battle Master maneuvers, you could take some that can trip people. You could take Riposte. You can also take Polearm Master. You could take Sentinel. And you can make it so that when people enter your reach, you can hit them using your reaction. So even if people are trying to get around you, you can still hit them and stop them with Sentinel. You know, like, it just, you can really build out someone that can really control the battlefield in such a wide range while being melee, which is very, very useful.
Yeah, the only time that I've encountered Rune Knight was when I was DMing and you were basically doing everything you just described with Sentinel and Polearm Master. You had reach, and every time you did something, I was like, holy crap, that's actually really cool. Like, you can go big. Okay, you just diverted one of the attacks from one of these runes. Like, these runes are crazy. Like, I haven't played one, but...
They're crazy, but, like, you don't get too many charges.
Yeah, it's not overpowered, I'd say.
It's too much. Like it's a good balance with them, and they're just useful. And like it's the kind of class that when someone plays it and like plays it well, it's really cool and really cinematic and can really make for a fun time.
Yeah.
It's really good as like when I played it, we were playing with people that hadn't really played the game before, so I made someone that can go right up in the enemy's face and fight them.
Yep.
While they figured out their life behind me. And it was very good at that.
Yeah, so we're gonna
protect the whole party. The only reason it's at A and not S for me is because I would pick Battlemaster and Echo Knight over it every time.
Yeah, I don't think it's S for sure, but pretty solid A up there with Eldritch Knight. It's a great subclass. Let's end off Fighter with Samurai.
It's in C for me.
Yeah, it's just average. Like
it's not good. It's pretty bad, but it's better than two of them.
That's true.
Like it's a pretty garbage subclass. But Cavalier and Purple Dragon Knight don't add anything. This at least adds something.
Yeah,
this adds what the Purple Dragon Knight should have.
Yeah, like it's all based around the fighting spirit, which thematically, Samurai sounds great. Just in practice, it's underwhelming. Fighting spirit scales. I don't think it scales enough, though. To be honest,
it doesn't.
It's like 5 temporary hit points.
Yeah, and then 10 at 10th level, 15 at 15th.
It also doesn't. The number of times you use it doesn't scale. Does it not scale? It says 3 uses.
Your intensity in battle can shield you and help a true strike. As a bonus action on your turn, you can give yourself advantage on a weapon attack rolls till the end of the current turn. When you do so, you gain temporary hit points. You can use these features 3 times and regain them all on a long rest.
Yeah, like why isn't that your proficiency modifier? Like,
well, at 10th level, when you roll initiative and you don't have it, you get one.
Yeah, but don't like Arcane Archer and Gunslinger.
That's what it says here, man.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's good.
Okay. It should scale. It'd be better if it did. Would not save the subclass though, because it's still just not good enough. But
Rapid Strike is really cool, and I like it. But it's at 15th level. So I'm like,
yeah.
Because like on one of your attacks, you can have advantage, or instead, you can make an additional weapon attack, which is better in every way, because both of them is 2d20s, but one is potentially twice the damage.
Yep.
Why would you ever do the advantage?
It has True Strike in it. So.
Yeah, like that's just. It's like they didn't ever actually think about that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like with True Strike, you know, like it doesn't actually help you to take advantage when instead you can have an extra attack. Just give it the extra attack because the advantage is garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. So Samurai, solid C tier.
Thank you for bowing down to me today.
Bowing down to you?
That's exactly how I had it.
I mean, I think we just agree. Like this is.
You know, well, like, even when we did our Artificer earlier, it was the exact how I had it.
Yeah, I mean, like I liked playing Alchemist, but like. Honestly, just yeah, this is not the video to talk about it, to be honest. But
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just funny because like when you said that it was split, I looked at mine. I was like, it's equal. I was like, oh wait, mine isn't the video one. And then I looked over. I was like, it's equal.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would change is Eldritch Knight would be a B, but I still like it enough to have it as an A. So. So those are all the subclasses for the fighters. Fighter's a great class, just like a lot of the other subclasses we're ranking. Like, got some really good ones. It's got some really bad misses. It's a great class. So let us know what you guys think about the subclasses. Like we said at the beginning of the video, the tier maker link is in the link below. check out our videos on the Artificer, Cleric, and Blood Hunter, and stay tuned for the rest of the class video.
Bye.
Oh, I should transition to webcam for a perfect ending. Bye.
Yeah.
Philip, do a bye again.
Bye.
There we go. Perfect. Seamless.